Hi. This time we're going to be talking about the sticky business of finding a Tai Chi teacher. How do you find them? How do you know you're not getting conned? Do they really know as much as they say they do? We're going to be talking about this and more on this episode. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to find a Tai Chi teacher. A simple Google search will find somebody who will teach you Tai Chi in your area. And they show up in very interesting places. The why? Back rooms at chiropractic shops, yoga studios, energy healing studios, gyms. You may be able to find these teachers online and glean a little bit about them from that. But the reality is you're not going to know how good they are until you go to these places and give them a shot. One of the things that you can find out beforehand is usually their credentials. Tai Chi masters. These guys are relatively rare. You can usually find them in larger cities, but once you get into smaller and smaller places, you're going to have a difficult time finding them. But if you can, they had to go through a lot of work to get the title that they got, and it takes many, many, many years to earn that title. So, if you can learn from one of them, do it. Failing that, the next best thing to find would be a Kung Fu master like myself. Usually, we do cross-training, so we study the Kung Fu, but we also have to study the Tai Chi because it uses techniques that we don't necessarily find in our Kung Fu boxing styles. Also, there are various core concepts that are the same between Kung Fu and Tai Chi. Just barely below a Kung Fu master would be best to find a Hapkido or Aikido master. The techniques that they use are very similar to Tai Chi, and if they're also teaching Tai Chi, it would be a good idea to learn from them. If you're not familiar with these styles, they usually cross-train with Taekwondo and Karate, respectively. The next best thing would be a master of any other martial art. It takes a long time to master any other martial art, and you still learn similar movements and techniques in any other kind of martial art as you do Tai Chi. Also, it is required that you teach students for a good period of time before you become a master in anything else. If you can't find a martial arts master to teach you, don't worry. There are certified programs online that people take to learn the techniques and the safety to be able to teach you effectively. So, you can often find some of these people to help you out. Then still there are the wild cards who just kind of picked Tai Chi up somewhere. These cannot be vetted before you go and talk to them, but occasionally you will find one or two of these that actually know what they're doing and would at least be a good starting point. That said, you can't truly know the quality of the teacher you're going to find until you go and take a class with them. There are great practitioners who are not particularly good teachers, and there are people with lesser certifications that are fantastic teachers. So, go ahead and give it a shot. Once you do go find a teacher and take a class, there are going to be some red flags that you can look for to avoid wasting your time and money. One of the biggest things that you need to avoid as a beginner is a teacher who is too stringent on the minutiae of motion or stances. You will recognize them because they'll force you into a footing or a motion that hurts you and will force you to continue doing it even after you tell them that it hurts you. That said, this isn't sadism. The most traditional styles start off when people are children and they're much more pliable, and all of these stances are forced into children because their bodies can take it, and once you learn it from a young age and you continue doing it on through your adulthood, your body more readily assumes these shapes. But if you're starting as an upper adult, injury may find you during this process. So always try and find one who works with your body's natural motion. The next thing you want to avoid is people who boast magic ability or mystify Tai Chi. These kind of people are either conning you or they truly don't understand what they are teaching. If they start talking to you about Chi, Chi is real. Chi can do cool stuff. Chi is not magic. It is a natural force, just like any other kind of energy. But everything in Tai Chi adheres to the laws of physics. The next thing you want to avoid are teachers that make you purchase lots of stuff at the very beginning. It's uniforms, swords, fans, all manner of nonsense that you're not even ready for yet. The reason they want to do this is because they want you to invest in such a financial commitment that intellectually you don't want to back out of what it is that they're selling you. One caveat to that, which I might let slide, what I've seen is many teachers have their students get a belt. Whether they give them the belt or they have them purchase the belt, I can see why that's happening. Just like a uniform in karate or kung fu, it serves as kind of like a ritual item so that you put it on and your mind kind of shifts into, okay, it's time to work mode. And if that appeals to you, check online just to see if the belts are cheaper. With that, I will say that almost all masters spend thousands of dollars over the course of their lives and their training. And once you become a master, it does not rain money. So it does make sense for any kind of teacher or master to charge a class fee. And it's up to you to determine what it's worth to you. What you do want to look for in a teacher is someone that makes you comfortable. Someone who's welcoming, someone who seems to know how you work and how your body work, and are able to move the class along in a way that makes you feel good about what you're doing. What's going to keep you engaged is a teacher who is enthusiastic about what they do and makes you enthusiastic to learn more. It is entirely up to you to keep your commitment going, but it helps to have a teacher that makes learning fun and engaging. And you definitely want a teacher that takes your injuries, your demeanor, and your emotions into consideration during the course of the class. If you have a knee injury, snake creeps through the grass probably isn't for you. Almost everything in Tai Chi has a form that could be perfect, but it can be broken down to be easier for anyone even with an injury. So that should be enough to get you started in your search for your first Lao Shi or Shifu. And remember as you go through that you are not stuck with the same teacher forever. Teachers, of course, have a vested interest in retaining you, but you do not need to stay if there's nothing else you can grow from. So, get out there and have fun.